College of Medical and Dental Sciences, Thursday, 14th of July 2022, 10 a.m. College of Medical and Dental Sciences, Thursday, 14th of July 2022, 10 a.m. College of Medical and Dental Sciences, Thursday, 14th of July 2022, 10 a.m. College of Medical and Dental Sciences, Thursday, 14th of July 2022, 10 a.m. College of Medical and Dental Sciences, Thursday, 14th of July 2022, 10 a.m. College of Medical and Dental Sciences, Thursday, 14th of July 2022, 10 a.m. College of Medical and Dental Sciences, Thursday, 14th of July 2022, 10 a.m. College of Medical and Dental Sciences, Thursday, 14th of July 2022, 10 a.m. College of Medical and Dental Sciences, Thursday, 14th of July 2022, 10 a.m. College of Medical and Dental Sciences, Thursday, 14th of July 2022, 10 a.m. College of Medical and Dental Sciences, Thursday, 14th of July 2022, 10 a.m. Congratulations to our University of Birmingham graduates. Here we are in the Grace Hall at the heart of the Edgbaston campus. Attendees, mostly graduates and their friends and family, are seated. Here are the student musicians. It's great to see them returning to ceremonies following the pandemic. Now we're getting started. Here's the first of our 2 mace bearers beginning the ceremony. The centenary mace bearer is usually a staff member who has volunteered to take part in the ceremony. The mace bearer enters through the back of the Great Hall and leads a procession of staff to the stage. Bedell, who is the second of the 2 mace bearers, follows. Are placed on the stage for the duration of the ceremony.
I declare the congregation open. As Vice-Chancellor, it's my real pleasure to welcome you here today for your graduation. As we start today's celebration, take a look around you. I genuinely can't think of a better and more stunning venue in which to celebrate your achievements. As you sit here in the Great Hall, you may just be able to glimpse the ghosts of all that has happened here since it first opened more than 100 years ago. In recent times, this included row after row of desks set out for exams, enough to strike fear into students' hearts, and remind most of those sitting up here when we were in your place. Distinguished speakers, including Yehudi Menuhin, Peter Ustinov, Maureen Lipman, David Lodge, Robert Winston, Sue Lawley, and that national treasure, David Attenborough, have engaged our students and staff here in this hall. We've welcomed international conferences, religious festivals, celebratory dinners, and even the odd wedding or two. But the Great Hall has had less obvious uses over the years. If you've been here during the First World War, you might have been a soldier returning from the front lines or a nurse treating the wounded, as the hall was converted into a military hospital. In the Second World War, you might have been training hard on a pommel horse, as this room became a gym for training the armed forces. In the 1960s, it became a pop-up cinema. In the 1970s and 80s, it was home to the Symphony of Birmingham Symphony Orchestra, which recorded over 50 albums here over 2 decades. And of course, more recently, and many of you will remember this, you've had a swab stuck up your nose at our COVID testing facility. But you're now part of the great history of this building, but more importantly, part of the history of this great university. Think back to when you first arrived here a few years ago. Most of you will have been excited, a bit nervous, a bit concerned that you wouldn't be able to tackle the challenges ahead. But as you progress through your degree, there will have been times where the decisions you needed to make seemed clear and obvious, and others where you just weren't so sure about what to do next. There will have been concepts, problems, or ideas that inspired you, others that will have made your brain hurt. But I'm sure that you will have attended your lectures that filled you with your knowledge and sparked your imagination. And I'm sure also there will have been lectures that just went on far too long. You will have spent nights in the library hoping that that information would stick, or that you could find the right reference for that piece of research to include in your work. Outside of your academic efforts, you'll have made new friends, and many of those will remain friends for life. Treasure these special people. You'll support each other during life's ups and downs, and no matter where you go in the world, a call or a message from them or to them will make each other smile. I hope that as you look back on all of this, you'll recognise what you've achieved. You'll have grown in confidence, and you'll have learned to be resilient, to prioritise, and to manage. You've successfully completed your degree, and you have the knowledge and the skills to address the needs of our world now and in the future. And you will soon be a graduate of one of the world's top universities. And your friends and your family here today are enormously proud of what you've done. I hope that your time at Birmingham has given you fantastic memories that will stay with you forever. As you reflect today on your experiences here and on your graduation, you should rightly be proud of the personal qualities you've shown. But I know that you will agree that you couldn't have done it all by yourself. If it's true that it takes a village to raise a person, it certainly takes a great university to produce a great graduate. During your time here, you've been taught by some of the best lecturers in the world, and you will have been inspired by their enthusiasm and their knowledge of their areas. You have been supported in myriad ways by the tutors and the student support team around you. And I'd like to suggest that we all give them a huge thanks, and particularly the people behind us who've supported your learning along the way. So should we give them a thanks? And as I look at the people towards the front of the room, I can see people with proud faces, and as I was walking up, the odd tear in their eye. There will be people watching online and elsewhere who will be thinking of you now and who are proud of everything you've achieved. You will all have that person or those people who've believed in you, people who've supported you and showed you kindness, without whom you wouldn't be here. And again, graduates, perhaps we could all say thanks to your family and friends who are here today. So soon you will be up on this stage and I will admit you to your degree. This is your moment. When your name is read out, that will be your graduation. And family and friends, if you'd like to, that's your cue to make as much noise as you'd like. Before we move on, I'd like to also say today we have a very special honorary graduate, my predecessor as Vice-Chancellor, Professor David Eastwood, and it's a real pleasure to be able to welcome David here today. David was the architect of much of the greatness of the current university. And it is, for me, it's only fitting that we honour him with an honorary doctorate today. So, David, thank you very much for accepting it. But those of you who are coming up to the stage, be careful on the steps. Do give a big smile for the cameras, and don't forget to save your moment. My warmest congratulations to you. Well done, and thank you very much.
Now, for the handing of the scrolls, the graduates will walk from the left of the stage to the centre and collect their scroll from the conferring officer. After they're congratulated, they'll walk off stage.
I'm the Dean of the Birmingham Medical School, and I wish you all a very warm welcome to this ceremony. Vice-Chancellor and Principal, to you and to the University, I present the names of these graduates as listed in my programme, both in attendance and in absentia, proved worthy to be admitted to their respective degrees.
By virtue of my authority as Vice-Chancellor, I admit those persons listed in the programme to the degrees for which they are to be admitted.
Ifra Binte Abdullah. Miriam Abdul Ado. Hamza Aiden. Shimrita Ugrawal. Jawad Ahmed. Humza Nisat Ahmed. Fatima Ahmed. Hussein Ahmed. Dua Masood Ahmed. Ayur Mikun Ajibade. Elise Ackerman. Tasnim Atkar. Jenna Al-Hafida. Zainab Ali. Muhammad Mudassar Ali. Jacob Allman. Mohammed Hamza Amin. Daniel Alexei Andreev. Gawari Anj. Radeu Humaria Anjum. Mariam Ansari. Thomas Arbon. James Ashworth Holland. Daniela Igawula Temadeo Ashogabon. Naomi Claire Atkins. Adam Auckland. Niklas Maxillan Oth. Kayut Ochung. Shilpi Awasti, Nasmia Ayaz, Himat Singh Badessa, Hannah Louise Bailey, Alicia Baines, Richard Baker, Holly Charlotte Baker, Mark Garrad Baker, Rishub Balaji, Prashanthan Belendran, Thalia Maria Ballinger, Adeolu Banjoku, Hannah Beth Barnard, Chloe Batchford, Josephine Alexandra Bates, Benjamin Elias Bates, Joshua Samuel Stantham Baxter, Esther Beer, Aman Singh Bambra, Serena Bhargava, Umar Singh Bogul, Zora Bibi, Abigail Blood, Christopher Board, Maeve Elizabeth Louisa Bowden, Adam Botkai, Jessica Ann Bowie, Ajay Bari, Emma Brady, Alice Louise Brody, Amber Isabel Brookhuizen, Poppy Brown, Charlotte Danya Buchalter, Evangeline Frances Buck, Nicole Buckingham, Samuel Bergen, Thomas Burton, Grace Elspeth Burton, Amara Butt, Joshua Piola Cabada, Rebecca Colderbank, Estelle Therese Ogalino Carrion, Helen Carter Roberts, James Andrew Castle, Robert John Kavanagh, Amy Louise K. Jean Sharmbo, Ravi Rahul Shadavarkar, Farhan Chaudhry, Daoud Chaudhry, Yu Si Sheng, Chiedza Michelle Chibada, Si Karchu, Daniel Cheevers, Niall Cockell, Harriet Louisa Cook, Eleanor Beatrice Costick, Zara Louisa Poe.
Vice-Chancellor, Pro-Vice-Chancellor, graduates, graduands and guests. During the 11 years for which I have worked at this institution, I must have watched Professor Sir David Eastwood confer thousands of University of Birmingham degrees at ceremonies like this one. So it's a real pleasure to be involved today now that he is finally receiving one of his own. During his time as Vice-Chancellor, from 2009 to 2021, Sir David not only awarded all those degrees, but through his imaginative, determined, and endlessly resourceful leadership, he increased the value of every single one of them. Birmingham has been foremost among Britain's great civic universities ever since its foundation, the scale of its founders' aspirations well expressed by the architecture of this hall. But it perhaps fulfills those aspirations more thoroughly now than at any previous time as a result of Sir David's period in office. I should stress, though, that this honorary degree is not being awarded by the University of Birmingham solely in recognition of services to the University of Birmingham. Long before he set foot in Edgbaston, Sir David Eastwood was already known as an outstanding historian, a Fellow of the Royal Historical Society and author of, for instance, Governing Rural England, Government and Community in the English Provinces, and Making Public Policy in 19th Century Britain. He was known too as an inspirational teacher, with an illustrious track record at Pembroke College, Oxford, among other places. And he was also known as one of the better informed and more clear-thinking commentators on British institutions and British politics, to be read in The Observer, The Sunday Times, The Guardian, and The Times. But quite early in his career, Sir David was recognised as someone who not only understands institutions and politics, but someone who can actually make them work. He became, in effect, a star not just of the lecture room, but of the committee room, progressing at the University of Wales at Swansea from being a mere historian to being head of his department, and then a dean, and then a pro-vice-chancellor. Suddenly, wherever the academic world needed organisation and advocacy and enlightened decisive leadership, there he was, chairing the Quality Assurance Agency Steering Group for Benchmarking, serving a term as Chief Executive of the Arts and Humanities Research Board, and later as Chief Executive of the Higher Education Funding Council for England. In 2002, he became Vice-Chancellor of the University of East Anglia. But whereas he stayed at Birmingham for more than 12 years, he only stayed at UEA for 4, because they aren't as lucky, and frankly, they aren't as good. By the time I first met Sir David, when he presided over my job interview, he was clearly an administrator, a diplomat, and an academic power broker at the height of exceptional powers. An imposingly urbane and watchful presence, with a conversational range that could move between the speculative, the jovial, and the frankly terrifying, with the slightest raising of an eyebrow, he reminded me of Holbein's portrait of Sir Thomas Cromwell, and frankly, he still does. The better I came to understand the university, the more I realised how much Sir David was already doing for its morale and for its reach. And I don't have time here to list even a fraction of the initiatives and innovations he personally spearheaded. All of them are characterised by a desire simultaneously to root the institution more deeply in the economic and cultural life of the West Midlands, and to help it branch out more extensively across the globe, from the university's new campus in Dubai to its Centre for Forestry Studies, from collaborations with Rolls-Royce and the Royal Shakespeare Company to the new City Centre Showcase and Civic Ideas Lab that is the Exchange Building, from the university's role in COVID research to its participation in the Commonwealth Games. And if anyone were to express any doubt as to the lasting impact Sir David's Vice-Chancellorship has had on this university, I would simply invite them to step out through those doors into the centre of the campus and look around at just some of the fruits of £1 billion worth of judicious investment. At the dome of the Music Building, somewhere with a special and always melodic place in Sir David's heart, by which the founder's vision of Chancellor's Court has at last been completed. At the Green Heart, the open breathing space that now presents a central vista from the university towards the city. At the new library and the new Centre for Learning and Teaching. At the new Olympic Standard Sports Hall, and at the new state-of-the-art engineering building. To use a word favoured by the Tudor court, to the task of leading this institution, David Eastwood brought a touch of magnificence. This is visibly a great university, and it owes some of that greatness to a great former Vice-Chancellor. And so, great current Vice-Chancellor, to you and to the university, I present Professor Sir David Eastwood, deemed worthy of admission to the degree of Doctor of the University honoris causa.
By virtue of my authority... By virtue of my authority as Vice-Chancellor and Principal, it is my pleasure to admit you to the degree of Doctor of the University honoris causa.
Vice-Chancellor, Pro-Vice-Chancellor, former colleagues, friends, graduates, graduands, supporters and family. It's a great honour that you've done me, and Michael, thank you for your much too generous and characteristically virtuoso oration. My time at Birmingham was a high point of my career. As Michael said, I stayed for well over 12 years. I worked with great people. It was a great privilege to be part of this fabulous institution, and it's humbling to be awarded this honorary doctorate. My colleagues will tell you that when I made speeches, they could go on for quite a long time. The registrar has reminded me that 4 minutes is the guide time. Reminds me actually of a new member of the House of Commons in the 1830s who went to the Duke of Wellington, the old Iron Duke, former Prime Minister, and said, "What's your advice on my maiden speech?" And the Duke of Wellington said, "Stand up, don't quote Latin, say something and sit down." This is, though, your day. You are graduating, or at least one side has graduated and the other is about to. You're graduating after years of deep immersion in both academic study and your own professional formation. You've done that, as the Vice-Chancellor was saying, in a great university with great faculty. You've also done that in quite unprecedented times when your learning and your lives were disrupted in ways you'd never envisaged and we'd never envisaged. So as you graduate not only having triumphed in your academic and professional studies, but also having triumphed personally, like so many others, in the way in which you have adjusted to and overcome the challenges of COVID. You go on to careers in medicine. Some of you will go into general practice, some of you will go into research, some of you will go into specialties. You're going into careers which will be at the heart of what we are as a nation. Most of you will work in the National Health Service, that symbol of a society committing one to another. And you will go into a profession which will continue to transform itself at an unprecedented rate. It's almost impossible, I think, to imagine what medicine will be when you lay down your stethoscopes and retire in due course. Your Birmingham training and your Birmingham formation has set you on course for that, has given you the foundation, has given you the confidence. But you need to continue to commit to your own development, your own professional enhancement. And also you need to commit, as you will, in the oath that you will take at the end, to giving of yourselves and of your best to your patients. One of the things that we say to honorary graduates, I know because I used to write the letter, is there anything that the graduating class can learn from your own career and for your own experience? One thing I would say is you might expect the unexpected. As Professor Dobson said, I am by academic discipline a historian. I'd had, as many academics do, a series of temporary fixed-term appointments in Oxford. And I was a candidate for a permanent appointment at Pembroke College. And it was 1987, and it was late June, and it was a lovely Friday evening, and I had a small moped, small Honda 70. My wife, we had 2 children at the time and no money. My wife had our battered Ford Escort and I had this motorbike. And I was riding back home and I was hit from the side by a Volvo 240. I know about cars, even when they hit me. I was on the road and brilliant paramedics got me into a position to put me in the ambulance. I was taken to the John Radcliffe Hospital in Oxford, and that night I had the first of 4 operations to piece me back together. The interviews for that fellowship were on the Monday morning. You at the back will understand this. Both of my legs were in traction. I had a broken femur, a broken pelvis, a broken ankle, skin grafts just been given. But in a very enterprising way, the selection committee decided, as I couldn't go to them, they would come to me. So I was actually interviewed in the John Radcliffe Hospital, wheeled into the sister's office with both legs in traction. And Sir Roger Bannister, who was the master of the college, and known, of course, as a neurologist as well as the first 4-minute miler, led the selection committee through the door and said, "Dr. Eastwood, please don't get up." You'll have worked out now I was appointed to that job. So expect the unexpected. You can achieve in spaces that you might not expect to achieve. And I went on to have the career that Michael outlined. When you're thinking about your career and the way in which your career develops, not all opportunities are the right opportunities. Sometimes something is held in front of you, which might be exciting but wrong for you. So always, as you are thinking about your future, think about yourself, thinking about your professionalism, think about what you can contribute in that role. But the ambition that you've had, the ambition that's brought you today to your degrees, is the ambition that will take you forward and will continue to enable you not only to be the best medics that you can, but also to serve society and to serve your fellow humanity in ways which enhance their well-being. So for me, it's a sort of farewell after over 12 wonderful years at this university. It's wonderful to see the university continuing to prosper, continuing to go from strength to strength. And I want to thank the university for the opportunity it gave me to serve it as its Vice-Chancellor. I couldn't have done that without the great colleagues I had. I couldn't have done that without the support and collegiality I experienced here. And I couldn't have done that without my family. And that is the other thing which has sustained me throughout my career. In my case, the day after I got my finals results, the day after I graduated, Jen and I got married. We've been married for 42 years. It's been wonderful. I've got 3 fabulous children, one of whom's here. And if you can be as privileged as I have in your family, you will have much to be thankful for. So thank you. It's been a great pleasure.
Vice-Chancellor and Principal, to you and to the University, I present the names of those graduates as listed in my programme, both in attendance and in absentia, proved worthy to be admitted to their respective degrees. Bachelor of Medicine and Bachelor of Surgery, Medicine Clinical. Caris Maeve Coyle. Isabella Craner. Olivia Charlotte Crawford. Charlotte Crook. Luke Cutts. Sundus Daraville. Sharon Darkwa. Charles Davies. Delith Nia Davies. Alexandra Charity Davison. Iman Denny Denny. Alina Desai. Sonia Dillon. Olivia Margaret Dodson. Justinia Dumbeck. Anna Catherine Douthwaite, Viabi Dua, Melissa Camilla Duarte, Isabel Margaret Dudley, Rosie Edwards, Shania Erkwazor, Noura El Garabli, Azjad Jasmine El Mubarak, Olivia Evans, Duardulwa Titlore Falowa, Arash Fortare, Alexandra Forrest, Emily Elizabeth Fox, Eleanor Gadd, Shazwath Ganapi, Esme Freya Gardiner, Michaela Gaston, Ida Gebre, Laura Margaret G, George Dudley Gibbs, Gregory Richard Goodwin, Madeline Bridget Gray French, Rohan Gujuri, Ankita Gupta, Abhishek Kumar Gupta, Maguti Sri Guruswamy, Daniel Haddad, Zora Hackard Khan, Thea Ziad Edward Hanania, Sean Kwang Sung Hang, Sophie Catherine Harbach, Simran Harlaka, Luke William Nicholas Harrison, Thomas Richard Wheeler Hart, Yusuf Suleiman Hashmi, Sophie Jane Horton, Yumi Eugenia Hawaka Jacobson, Amber Eleanor Hayden, Noah Ethan Hazelwood, Meghna Hebar, Elsie Beth Hellier, Elizabeth Joy Helm, Eulania Anishan Philomena Hemesley, Rosie Henderson, Yasan Hendy, Leah Ann Heredia. Robin Ann Hext. Georgina Ellen Hodges. Isaac Alan Hosier. Molly Elizabeth Howell. Amy Rebecca Hughes. Jasmine Hundal. Sabrina Abdul Rafiq Hussain. Saeed Shazal Hussain. Alice Kathleen Cherry Hyde. Kira Louise Irwin. Lawrence Isherwood. Matthew Jackson. Khadija Jafari. Partab Jaipal. Thomas Jenkinson. Rebecca Jess. Amelia Alice Louise Jewell. Darshana J. Orbon. Flora Matilda Johnson. Rosie Miriam Jones. Rihanna Sarah Jones. Elizabeth Hannah Lee. Shumal Mahmood. Sarah Abada. And Ionida Gadmoze. Very well done to all of you. I'm now going to lead the declaration for the University of Birmingham healthcare professions. So I'm going to ask the graduates to stand and recite after me as follows. So I will say it sentence by sentence, and I really want to hear it. In accepting my degree today, I recognize that I embark upon a career involving care of patients, families and loved ones. I promise to reflect on and uphold in all I do my duty as a healthcare professional. And to put the care of patients at the heart of all my actions. I shall treat all patients with compassion and respect. I shall listen and explain so they may reach decisions on their care and on their treatment. I shall never compromise the safety or the dignity or comfort of my patients. nor shall I discriminate against them or my colleagues. I shall justify the trust placed in me by patients and by individuals. And by society by working with integrity. I shall keep my knowledge up to date. When I make mistakes, I shall acknowledge them with candour to my patients. And report them. I shall learn from error. I understand that I alone must take responsibility for all I do. And be prepared to justify my acts and my decisions. I declare that I will justify the privilege that the award of my degree bestows on me. Well done. So please be seated. So I'm now going to introduce our student representative to give a speech on behalf of the graduating cohort. So I'd like to introduce Miriam Addo, who's now Bachelor of Medicine and Bachelor of Surgery.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. I'll start by throwing it all the way back to day one of medical school, the 19th of September 2016. Bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, I stepped into the grand foyer, my mind racing with anxious but hopeful thoughts about this next stage of my life. Getting into medical school was a huge achievement for me. Born and raised in Accra, Ghana, then relocating to London in my early adolescence, I had had to overcome many challenges in order to be able to study medicine. But after my first week was tainted with various manifestations of a phenomenon I only later came to understand as imposter syndrome, it was only then that I painfully realized that the biggest challenge was in fact ahead of me. Dear fellow graduates, distinguished guests, members of faculty, friends and families, it is a great honor to stand before you here today addressing this speech. To all my colleagues gathered in this great hall today, congratulations, we did it. First, I would like to congratulate all of us for the sheer grit, resilience, and academic rigor that not only allowed us to survive, but thrive throughout this degree. You may not naturally think of yourselves as possessing said characteristics, but I assure you, you all do. From our preclinical years where we spent hours prepping for anatomy sheets, which were so full of jargon they might as well have been written in pure Latin, to those days of back-to-back lectures. I mean, getting through those embryology lectures alone deserves some serious recognition, I think. Then our clinical years came, the hours we spent on various wards and bedside teachings, getting grilled by consultants for failing to remember exactly which species of scorpion causes pancreatitis, scrambling to get that last ABG or pesky oxygen therapy signed off in your clinical skills passport, resorting to emotionally manipulating our friends and family to allow us to practice yet another cardiovascular exam on them because we have to pass our OSCEs, among the countless other exams we had to sit year after year. This degree presented us with many challenges along the way, and we conquered them all. But it hasn't been all doom and gloom. Our time in medical school has taught us more than the intricacies of human anatomy, physiology, and pharmacology. In fact, I'm confident that each and every graduate leaves here today with more than just a medical degree. Whether it was leading a student society, advocating for social reform, getting involved with innovative research, or investing in our personal growth. Let's all take a few seconds to cast our minds to our individual journeys and be ever so proud of what we have achieved during our time here. Now, friends, I'd like to leave you all with a farewell message. Let us become good doctors. As challenging as this will be in itself, let us do more for the world beyond preventing, diagnosing, and treating diseases. As I'm sure most of you already know, the word doctor derives from the Latin word docere, which means to teach. With the privilege of the title doctor bestowed upon us, let us go out there and teach good things to the world. Let us be compassionate and kind and altruistic. Let us be sincere, play fair. Let us fight against injustices. Let us challenge people to care more about others around them, just like we have been taught to do. Let us be vessels for positive change in our respective corners of the world, however big or small. Let us not just do good doctoring, let us become good doctors. I couldn't end this speech without extending gratitude to all the people in our lives who have contributed to our medical school journey. Firstly, on a personal level, I would like to thank God. I owe all my achievements and successes to His abounding grace and favor, which has carried me through the past 6 years. On behalf of my graduating cohort, I would like to thank all of our family members, life partners, and friends. Can we please give them all a big round of applause? To our parents and guardians, thank you for the genetics and nurturing that have produced such excellence in us. Thank you for your undying support and guidance financially, emotionally, physically, mostly financially. To my dad, Alex, and my mum, Paulina, who are sat right in front of me here today, thank you both for everything. I hope I have made you proud. Last but not least, the next vote of thanks goes to the faculty of the MDS College, our clinical supervisors and teachers, admin and well-being staff. In my speech briefing, I was advised to avoid name-dropping, but in true Miriam Addo fashion, I'm going to go ahead and do it anyway. I would like to extend special thanks to Professor Kate Thomas, the Vice Dean of our medical school, who has served as a great source of mentorship for me personally. Thank you for being an excellent example of a leader. We truly appreciate your dedication to this institution, and we will miss you dearly. Finally, fellow graduates, I want you all to take a look around the room at your kin, your squad, the people without whom this entire journey would have been meaningless. We have come so far through literal blood, sweat, and tears. In true reflection of our university motto, through adversity to high things, we have persevered, and finally, we have done it. Thank you, everyone, for listening. I hope you all enjoy the rest of your day celebrating with your loved ones. I'm wishing all my beloved colleagues prosperous and joyous futures. Let's keep in touch. That's all from me. Over and out.
Miriam, that was fantastic, and you've given me a really difficult act to follow, but it's my responsibility to give the final speech of this degree ceremony. So my name's David Adams. I'm Pro-Vice Chancellor and Head of the College of Medical and Dental Sciences, and this is really one of my greatest privileges, to be part of your graduation ceremony and to celebrate the achievements with you. I could see from your beaming smiles as you came up on stage just how much it meant to you. And it took me back 40 years to when I was in your position. I graduated in medicine from this great university 40 years ago this year. So from its beginnings in 1900 as England's first civic university, we've welcomed people of all faiths and backgrounds and have been home to some truly inspirational people. If you walk down the corridors either side of the Great Hall today, you will see museum objects, prototypes, manuscripts and photographs that tell the stories of groundbreaking research undertaken by our university. This includes the work of Sir Peter Medawar, who won a Nobel Prize for his work in transplantation. It also includes the work of Dame Hilda Lloyd. She was the first woman to become president of the Royal Society of Obstetricians, and she did remarkable work providing obstetric care to the urban poor across this city, saving countless mothers' and babies' lives during the process, a true inspirational leader. These are just a few examples of how we change lives through our research and through our clinical practice. But we also have an impact on the world around us in other ways. If on your way out to the Great Hall you turn right and walk down to the Bramall, you will see posters and photos telling the story of the university's role in local and international music culture. Everything from Sister Bliss and The Cure through to Joy Division's last ever concert in High Hall. That was when I was a student. I had tickets to go, but I got persuaded to go to a party instead, and I've regretted it ever since. Across the world, thousands of our alumni are working in every conceivable industry. We are proud to be hosting the Commonwealth Games, hockey and squash, in a couple of weeks, where Birmingham students and alumni will be representing their countries in 9 sports, including swimming, judo and athletics. It's telling that a third of the England's women hockey team studied at Birmingham. I'm generally proud to be standing here on behalf of a university where inspirational people do inspirational things, where every day we have the ability to change lives for the better, and today I am truly inspired by what you have all achieved, and particularly during the last 2 very difficult COVID-driven years. As you embark on the next chapter of your lives, you may know exactly what you are going to do, or you may be still considering a range of options. Medicine is a wonderful career, and there are many things that you can do in the future, and make sure that you keep your mind open to all of those possibilities. The important thing is that the future is in your hands, and each of you will find a different path in the world. And as you do this, I hope that you will take a piece of Birmingham with you. Your experiences here will have given you a fantastic academic and clinical grounding. And in addition to your clinical and professional skills, you'll have honed a whole range of other skills, maybe without noticing. You leave here being able to analyse and critique information, which is critical not only for your futures as doctors, but for any role that you take in life. You are likely to be well practiced at discussing and debating issues with respect, and you will understand the importance of having an open mind to the view of others. Together, these skills will enable you to make a difference into this world. As Professor Eastwood said, we have many global challenges facing us, challenges that we need to tackle, and many of these are in the area of global health and healthcare. And it's people like you, in big ways and small, who will be able to solve some of these problems as we move forward. In a few minutes' time, you will walk out as graduates of the University of Birmingham and celebrate in the Great Green Heart with your fellow students, family and friends. This marks the end of one chapter of your life, and after today, some of you will be leaving Birmingham, and some of you may even be leaving the UK. Despite this, you remain part of our alumni family, and we will still be here for you. Our fantastic alumni relations team run events for graduates and can connect you with alumni across the world. Please keep in touch and let us know what you're doing. We're always interested in what our graduates are up to. After you've finished celebrating today, you may have time for a quiet moment of reflection. If this is the case, I hope you'll think fondly about your time here, about the people who have supported you, and about your success in achieving your degree. You enter the Great Hall today as graduands, but you will leave as graduates of the University of Birmingham. You can look back with genuine pride in what you have achieved. Class of 2022, many congratulations and really well done.
I declare the congregation closed.
Congratulations to our new graduates. The attendees applaud our new graduating class. To close the ceremony, the maces are collected from the stage. The mace bearers lead the procession of staff and new graduates out of the Great Hall. The ceremony that completes the university journey for hundreds of Birmingham alumni is now closed. The live stream has now ended. The live stream has now ended.